At 11 p.m., I rolled into my driveway, bone-weary from a 600-mile drive, only to be blinded by police lights flashing like a crime scene, all because coming home early from a work trip was a felony in Marjorie Vance's twisted universe. I'm Nathan Brooks, a 52-year-old construction foreman, aching for a beer on my grandfather's dock by Clearwater Lake, but instead, a stranger was brewing coffee in my kitchen, acting like she owned my Cedar Grove cabin. Officer Ramsey barked, "Step away, you're trespassing," as Marjorie, the HOA despot of Pineview Estates, stepped from the shadows. Her smirk venomous, claiming her friend Lila Winters was legally house-sitting my abandoned property. I'm Nathan Brooks, a divorced dad with 2 grown kids, the kind of guy who pays taxes early, keeps his toolbox pristine, and lives for quiet mornings. 3 years ago, I inherited a 2-acre lakefront sanctuary in Pineview County, Montana, hand-built by my grandfather Ezra in 1987 with $47. A beat-up truck and a work ethic forged in the Depression and Korean War. Ezra's cabin was his masterpiece, every plank nailed with sweat, his fishing lures carved during long Montana winters. A legacy where I plan to retire, sipping coffee on the dock, watching eagles hunt over Clearwater Lake's mist. In 2019, Pineview Estates invaded, a California developer vomiting 47 McMansions across former pasture land, their chlorine pools clashing with the pine sap scent of Ezra's trees. Marjorie, a 65-year-old ex-bank manager with a white Tesla and yoga pants, seized the HOA presidency. Her need for control as sharp as her lavender perfume. Her first decree demanded I tear down Ezra's dock, claiming it ruined her community view shed. Standing on those weathered planks, I said, "Ma'am, this dock was here when your neighborhood was cow dung." My lawyer's riparian rights letter shut her down, but Marjorie launched a war, flooding the county with complaints about my unpermitted cabin, built decades before her rules. 3 months ago, the nightmare deepened. Lights flickered in my cabin during work trips to Billings, my mail was redirected, and my garden hose ran nonstop, filling a neighbor's hot tub. Security cameras, hidden in Ezra's old birdhouse, caught Lila Winters, a 30-something lifestyle consultant from San Francisco, unlocking my door like she owned it. She was running an illegal Airbnb, charging $200 a night for lakefront wellness retreats, using my fire pit for meditation circles and my dock for yoga poses. Ezra's hand-carved lures, worn smooth by his hands, were strewn across my coffee table as Instagram props, a violation that burned hotter than her perfume. My electric bill spiked to $847, 1 month of crypto mining rigs humming in my basement, sucking power like a small city. My neighbor Ed Turner, a 68-year-old retired CPA with a knack for sniffing out fraud, caught Marjorie and Lila loading my belongings into a Tesla alongside a suited man, Clayton Morse, a California lawyer whose card boasted adverse possession specialist. Marjorie had filed county papers claiming I'd abandoned my land, a lie to legitimize Lila's squatting. That night in my driveway, police lights painting the pines red and blue, I showed Officer Ramsey my deed and ID, my hands steady despite the fury boiling. Inside, Marjorie waved a forged lease on her cream HOA letterhead, claiming Lila had lived there 6 months. Officer Bennett, a veteran cop who'd seen every suburban con, spotted the letterhead and smirked. My 4K security footage proved Lila broke in 3 days after I left for work. Marjorie's face twitched as Bennett gave Lila 2 hours to clear out. "This isn't over," Marjorie hissed, her eyes glinting with vengeance. I dove into Lila's history, uncovering scams across Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona, targeting lone men with valuable properties. Clayton's website bragged about snatching $2.3 million estates for $50,000 in legal fees, a blueprint for theft disguised as law. Through Vance Holdings LLC, Marjorie's husband Harold's shell company, they'd appraised my land at $1.8 million, planning to steal it for pennies via adverse possession. Ed's audit of HOA records uncovered $75,000 funneled to Clayton for consulting. No bids, no board approval, textbook fraud. Marjorie retaliated, filing 47 county complaints, unlicensed commercial activity from Lila's Airbnb, unsanitary conditions, threatening the water supply, even wildlife violations for my bird feeder. She called my employer, labeling me an unreliable contractor, aiming to gut my livelihood. My truck tires were slashed at a job site, security footage catching Harold's truck nearby, its plates gleaming under streetlights. Fake online reviews called my work dangerous, and anonymous OSHA complaints triggered inspections, costing my crew days of work. Marjorie upped the ante with a $300,000 security fund assessment, claiming it protected Pineview estates from disruptive elements like me. Neighbors revolted, their mailboxes stuffed with Ed's spreadsheets exposing her theft. Clara Hayes, a retired teacher, fined $250 for her grandkids' garden gnomes, baked cookies for our door-to-door campaign, her kitchen smelling of sugar and rebellion. Tom Riley, a widower who'd lost $150 for his non-compliant mailbox, joined us, his voice thick with years of Marjorie's bullying. By Sunday, 28 of 31 households signed our petition for an emergency HOA meeting. The Cedar Grove Community Center buzzed with fury, 28 families packed under flickering fluorescents, the air heavy with burnt coffee and outrage. Marjorie strode in, heels clicking like a firing squad, flanked by allies Nolan and Dorothy. Ed's PowerPoint exposed $75,000 in fraudulent payments, each slide a dagger. $10,000 for urgent sod after Clara's gnome dispute, $12. 0,000 for sprinkler upgrades when Tom fought a fine. I played footage of Lila's break-ins, her silhouette stark against my cabin's cedar walls. Clara stood, voice shaking. She fined my grandkids turtles, but funds her husband's scams. Tom added, she's a thief hiding behind bylaws. The vote was 26-2 to oust Marjorie, demand $75,000 restitution, and ban Vance Holdings. Marjorie went scorched earth, hiring private investigators to tail me, their cigarette smoke trailing my truck like a bad noir film. She filed a restraining order, claiming I'd threatened her, barring me from my own dock since it bordered HOA land. My cameras caught Nolan poisoning Ezra's 30-year-old apple trees with herbicide, their blossoms wilting like family memories. At 2 a.m., motion sensors screamed, as three figures with gasoline cans crept toward my cabin, fleeing when Ed's 911 call brought deputies, their sirens piercing the night. The FBI entered, Agent Sarah Bennett uncovering a $3.2 million interstate scheme. Lila, real name Bethany Walsh, was wanted in Nevada for fraud. Clayton's laptop held spreadsheets targeting 23 properties, mine marked $2.1M priority. Bank records showed Marjorie pocketed $125,000 to deliver me as prey, her Tesla payments funded by my dues. Marjorie's attacks grew desperate. She spread rumors about my mental stability, contacting my ex-wife with lies about dangerous behavior. Fake social media posts labeled me a predator, and doctored audio suggested I'd harassed Lila during her retreats. My daughter Emma, a law student, arrived from Seattle, her textbooks piling up in Ed's basement, now a war room of whiteboards and coffee pots. Clara's hardware store became our evidence hub, her copiers humming as we compiled Clayton's financial trails. Tom dug up 1987 survey notes, proving Ezra owned 3.2 acres, not 2, including land under 3 McMansions, Marjorie's infinity pool among them. The irony was sweeter than Clara's apple pie. At 6 a.m., Sarah arrested Marjorie and Lila on RICO charges, mail fraud, wire fraud, witness intimidation, handcuffs glinting in the dawn. Clayton faced 20 years, his 12-state empire exposed. Marjorie's perp walk aired on local news, neighbors cheering as she pleaded guilty, paying $2.3 million in seized assets. She sold her mansion, fleeing Pineview County like a dethroned queen, her roses left to rot. Harold dissolved Vance Holdings, taking a job 2 counties away. Ed's new HOA slashed fees to $100, funding a $25,000 lakefront park and Ezra's legacy fund, a scholarship for rural kids. Neighbors rebuilt my dock with Ezra's 1987 blueprints, their hammers ringing with unity. My grandson cast lures where Ezra did, our land secured by federal precedent. Property values soared 15%, and Cedar Grove's festival draws 2,000, celebrating resilience with bluegrass and barbecue. My fight inspired Montana's Vance Prevention Act, mandating HOA audits. Nationwide, I married Clara, a widow who fought beside me, her smile warmer than Clearwater Lake sunrise. But did we crush a criminal or ignite a vendetta? Was Marjorie a mastermind or greeds pawn? Share your HOA horror below. Was this justice or too far? Drop your story and fight the tyrants stealing our homes.